Hey guys, thanks for whacking on that thumbnail. This weekend I saw Rogue One, a Star Wars story starring Felicity Jones, Diego Luna, Alan Tudyk, and of course the one, the only, Mr. Forrest Whitaker. And guys, this is with a K review. I'm Victor, and you know what? I actually know a guy who did the CGI for this movie. He also did it on the Fantastic Four movie, the Green Lantern movie, and After Earth.
With a K review.
It's VIC?
No, it's with a K. Oh.
So when I first heard that they were going to be doing this movie, I was a little concerned because when Disney gets a hold of a property, they tend to want to run it into the ground or just make a really crappy movie about it. Now, I expected nothing less from Disney when they bought Marvel and when they bought, the Star Wars. They want to make something that's going to make them more money. They are restarting the money-making machine, essentially. So I thought, kind of like along with everybody else, that maybe that this movie wouldn't have enough meat, wouldn't have enough story in order for it to go a little bit farther. And I also heard that the movie had to have a lot of reshoots. And whenever a movie has to have a lot of reshoots, there tends to be some problems. But I wanted to hold out hope. Maybe a new hope. Ooh, that's a good one. That this movie was actually going to pull itself together and that we weren't just going to have a bland story of them just trying to do a money grab. But it's still a money grab. Listen, I'm going to explain all this. The story basically starts out with Felicity Jones's character, Jin, who's living with her father at a very young age, and then the Imperial Guard tries to come get him and take him away. And I won't really ruin anything with that because there's a lot of intense moments that happen in that. And I like Felicity Jones as an actor. I think she has this very sweet and wonderful personality, and I didn't get to see her in A Theory of Everything, but she got nominated for an Academy Award for that. So she's obviously doing something right. And this movie, I wanted to see, was she going to be different than the Rey character? Was she going to be a stronger female lead? Was it going to be a lot darker side to a female lead? And I can tell you this much. I thought that this movie wrote that female character fairly well. Her character in the film is basically trying to find her father and are trying to find the plans for the Death Star. And I really enjoyed that they went back and that they did this because there was like that little story, like they said, a lot of people sacrificed in that story of getting the Death Star plans. And it's really important that if you do a story like this, that you make everybody in the story matter. Like if somebody dies, then you care about it. Sort of like X-Men Days of Future Past. When people died in that movie, like you felt it. You were like, oh man, the feels. And I think the question on everybody's mind right now is this movie written well? Is it written like a Star Wars movie, or is it written darker? And what I can say about that is that this movie is written a lot darker. There are so many times in this movie where things blow up or where things like people die or they're just like these little small things. Like there's one part in the movie where a character, like there's a stormtrooper laying on the ground and the character just shoots him right in the head. Not like, in the side or whatever, shoots him right in the head. And I'm like, damn, Disney. For Disney to do something like that, for them to go that dark, to actually show like bullet entries and to show the overall violence of the Star Wars universe, I think is like super important because for a long time we had all those crappy happy movies and until that third one where, like the guy got all sliced up at the end. But really that's what I was kind of looking for in this movie. Not for people to be sliced up, but one of the really important things in this movie was the characters played by Donnie Yen and Wang Jing. And those two characters, like Donnie Yen plays the blind, like kind of like samurai character. And I really love Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen is an amazing martial artist. You guys think like Jackie Chan or even Jet Li are amazing. Donnie Yen is an absolutely phenomenal actor and also a martial artist. I'm going to leave a link below in the description if you guys want to go check out his IMDb thing. Just look at some of the stuff he's done. It's amazing. But it's really his character, the character of Boz and K2SO, who's played by Alan Tudyk, who those three people are the really like center point of this movie. They make or break this movie, and it's really not until they come in, like there's like the first like 20 or 30 minutes of this movie is a little bit boring. In fact, the guy next to me fell asleep. But when those guys come into the movie, like I felt like they energized the movie. Like their back and forth with each other was pretty decent, and I want you to remember that. Pretty decent. Because there's a way to like make side characters kind of like like each other and like for you to like them and make them connect with each other. So if something happens to any of them, that we have a feeling for them when we watch the movie. And I would have to say that out of the 100% of having all the little sub characters come together and to form an alliance, I would say that they did it fairly well. Like, there was a point in the movie where I thought I wasn't feeling as much as I really should towards their characters, but in the end, I really think that this movie pulled it together in probably the last 30 to 40 minutes of the battle. And that's what this whole thing really is it's a big lead up until the end. We want to know, like, that we know what might happen at the end, but it's still, you want to feel that closeness and so forth. Like, the Diego Luna, his character, like, I thought him and Jing's character, they did a very, very good job coming together in this movie and kind of made you feel for their characters. And again, everybody did that type of thing in the movie. So even Gareth Edwards in this movie, he's directed Godzilla, and so he knows how to make like a really big, awesome type of movie. And in this movie, there is so many things like a director like that can do to make it feel more like Star Wars, to make things big and gaudy, but this movie is much smaller, so he didn't go out of his way to make it large or anything like that, but there were some major battle scenes which I think he did a really good job on, and like, again, you feel that intensity and kind of that rawness of like, like rah. But that's the kind of thing that I really did enjoy about, this particular Star Wars story, is that we needed something like this for this universe. We needed to make this universe darker. We needed to make it, have us feel more for it. And I think Gareth Edwards did a really good job. I think all the supporting cast did a really good job. So when I'm going to have to give Rogue One a Star Wars story, I think I'm going to give this movie a 3.5K, and it's going to be a very strong and dark 3.5K, because I believe that there could have been some better writing in the movie to make the characters come together. But still, go see this one in theaters. Make sure to rent it when it comes out for $1. And when it comes up on streaming, make sure to put this in like your top 5, because the Star Wars story, Rogue One, is a movie that deserves to be in the Star Wars ethos, and it kind of made me like Star Wars a little bit even more. And yeah, thanks guys for watching my review. I really do appreciate all the viewers, subscribers that I do have. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit the little bell next to subscribe so you know when I upload a video in the next 3 months. And leave me a comment below and let me know, what is your favorite Star Wars movie? What is your favorite Star Wars line? And what do you think they need to do in Star Wars right now to kind of make it more interesting and, to really kind of like go in a different direction? They need to make it darker, they make it more family friendly. What do you need? So guys, yeah, never forget, if you don't like what you're watching, you can always turn it off. But thanks for coming back and seeing me.